Okay, so we have level 1 quadratic applications. So we are starting chapter 9, and we are going to start with applications when I give you the equation. So when I say use your graphing calculator, we are going to use Desmos. So you are going to plug this into Desmos. So we're going to go to Desmos Graphing, and I'm going to put in y equals negative 1.5 x to the power of 2 plus 3.8x plus 4. Alright, so here is my graph, and it says find x when y equals negative 1. So when y equals negative 1 is down here. So what's easiest? Y equals negative 1. So here is those two values. So x equals negative 0.955 and 3.489. So we've done this before. This should not be new. We did this a few chapters ago in Try 1. If you were not with me in Try 1, then you probably didn't. But pretty simple. Then it says find y when x is 7. So x equals 7 is over here. And you can scroll down, and there is my answer. So it didn't take very long to scroll. Negative 42.9. Okay, so that's just a little review of how to find x, how to find y. So here is find the coordinate of the maximum minimum. So maximum is up here. So the max is 1.267, 6.407. So there is your maximum point. Okay? Now we're going to put applications for this method. So a ball is projected upward from the ground. Its distance in feet from the ground at t seconds is s of t equals negative 16t squared plus 64t. Okay? So that is the equation I am going to plug in. So we can get rid of these two. And you can change it to y and x. So negative 16x squared plus 64x is this. And then it says, at what time will the ball be 32 feet from the ground? So, t seconds. So here's my y and my x. My x is seconds. And my y is distance in feet. Okay? So that's helpful to know, okay, this 32 is in feet, so this is y equals 32. Okay? And it says what time, so what I want is what is my x value when y is 32. So, what is my x value when y is 32? So my y is at 0.5 and at 3.4. So 0.586 seconds and 3.414 seconds. So there is my two times that the ball will be 32 feet from the ground. When will the ball hit the ground? Okay, so I need to think about, do I know my distance? Do I know my seconds? It asks me when, So that means that I am going to try to find my x. So now I need to find what is the distance that they're talking about. So when the ball hits the ground, my distance, my height, would be 0. So if I look, well, 0, 0, that's when the ball is projected upwards. So what they're asking is at 4 seconds. So at 4 seconds, the ball will hit the ground. And then my next question asks, what is the ball's maximum height? So maximum height, are they asking for the x or the y? Well, the height is your y. So when I look at my maximum, they're asking for my y value. So the height is going to be 64 feet. Okay. So now we have another type of problem. We have another equation here. X is the number of years since 1990. So x equals years since 1990. And my y value is number of companies filing for bankruptcy. And I'm just going to, I can look up here if I really need to, but just a little helpful hint, because then I know, am I asking for the x? Am I asking for the y? Okay, so now I need to plug this number in right here. So 3.37, oops. To the power of 2 minus 28.6x plus 133. Okay. So there is my parabola way up there. Find the number of bankruptcy filings in 2000. So, number of bankruptcy in 2000, so that means that I know my years since 1990. Well, that would be 10. So I need to find the number of filings, which is my y, when x is 10. So I go to my equation. So x equals 10. The number of filings is 184. And when we do word problems and applications, I always want units. So it's 184 companies. So when were there 100 bankruptcy filings? So that means that y is 100. So I need to know my x value. So y is 100. So y equals 100. So I can see it was 100 at 1.377 and at 7.109. So that means it is going to be in, so it's 191, so it's in 1992, because it's a little after 1991, and in 1998 because it's after 7, because it's after 1997, so it's in those years at some point. When were the bankruptcy filings at their minimum, and what was the number of bankruptcy filings? So that means when, so I want to look at this minimum here. So that is when I can write out 4.243, 72.32. So when, this is my years since 1990, so it was in 1995, since it's after 1994. And then there were 72 companies. I just rounded to the nearest whole number because we can't have a half of a company. All right. So that is the lesson for today. Remember, this right here is going to be super helpful to know what your x and y values are, so I know, am I given my x or am I given my y? So you know what other values to find. So you're just using Desmos to find all of these things, and then we will do more with that. All right, see you the next day.